Hello, this is O2's Inside Line, live from Twickenham! Yes! We are broadcasting live from an inflatable tent directly opposite the front doors at Twickenham Stadium. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure and an honour to welcome the man mountain that is George Kruis! Oh, George, it's an absolute joy to have you with us in the Blue Room. As you can see, we have literally hundreds of England fans. Thousands, well... Legally, it's hundreds. We're not allowed thousands in here. But we have hundreds of England fans with us who've got questions for you. Yeah. The game today, obviously, is England versus Italy. It's going to be a right ding-dong-do. We look forward to that. We'll ask you questions about that as well. But earlier on, George and I spent some time in the actual Twickenham tunnel, where the players leave the inside of the stadium. They enter the field of battle. And we want to know from George what it's all about.
Gives it to the big man and launch, but he's there. That's Cruz who gets over for the try. George Kruis has scored for England.
Right, here we are, George. This is the heart and soul, pretty much. Last time we were with Anthony Watson and we had a chat in the locker room and we got a sense of what it's all about when you see your shirt hanging up, the guys getting the protein ready and the pre-game meals, so to speak, the shake and what have you. But this is it. When you're stood in the tunnel, anticipating what's ahead of you, it's a beautiful setting. Just talk us through, as a player, as a well-experienced player, what it's like stood here in your England clobber, about to play an international match for your country, George.
I mean, you pretty much set the scene. You know, you've done all your prep for the week. You know, you've done your warm-up. You've done everything that needs to be done, and your excitement's building throughout. You know, and you're in the tunnel. You're probably next to your opposition.
What's that like?
It's, you know,
because you'll have studied them on film, won't you? You'll have watched them. You know exactly what their game is all about. But when you see them physically, face to face, do you smile? Do you give them evils?
It's a bit of an odd one. You know so much about them that half the time you probably don't really know them as a person. But yeah, it's good. You know, you probably have a little look and size them up a bit, but. You know, it's just about what happens out there. So
does that make a big difference? Because that's something that you carry on through school rugby and looking at the opposition, think, oh my gosh, he's big, isn't he? I've got to tackle him. I've got to go head to head with him. Does that still happen now?
Probably a little bit. I mean, I imagine you look.
Not with you, because you're a monster.
You look at someone like Billy and you think he's a big man. I'd probably look at him and still think he's a big man. But yeah, it's all about running out there and getting on the pitch as quick as you can. Really.
So at this stage, where we are physically stood now. This is where you get a sense of the crowd, they see you, the crowd lifts up, the atmosphere kicks in, and then it's game time. But you know you've got the national anthem, so you've got to kind of settle yourself. What's it like during the national anthem, hearing that song, knowing that you're representing a nation?
Yeah, massive. I think with a crowd like England has, you know, they turn up every single time we play, and you know they're very vocal, which is always massive for us. But
do you get stuck in? Do you sing it?
Yeah, for sure. You got to, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you?
I do. I sing it while watching you guys sing it because I think of all the sporting teams that represent our great nation, I think the rugby team do it with passion and they sing at the tops of their voice. It brings a tear to your eye, and you can understand why players do cry when they're singing it, especially in front of this massive crowd.
Yeah, it's a proper arena, this, and you can really feel it. You know, you feel the vibrations and it goes right through you. So it's a good feeling.
All right. Well, just quickly, one last thing. You've sang the national anthem, you do your warm-ups, team huddle, what goes on in that chat?
Just back to basics really in terms of, you know, the key messages from the key people. Not really shouting and screaming at that point. Everyone's kind of got an idea of what they want in their heads, and yeah, it's just a quick refocus before the kick-off. All
right, so we know what goes on out here. Pre-game, let's go back into the Blue Room and find out what shenanigans we've got going on before the game in the Blue Room. Vern, back to you.
Thank you very much, Vern. Yes, he's here. George Kruis, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. It's O2's Inside Line. And just let me remind you that throughout the day, we will be dropping live footage, live coverage throughout the afternoon in the build-up to the game and also after the game as well. So, George, we've got the Italians today. What can we expect from them? Obviously, they're going to be knackered 20 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, they're a very fiery team. They're a team that feeds a lot of passion at like the first 20 minutes. You know, they'll come out, they'll be all guns blazing, they'll chuck everything at us. But, you know, traditionally a very decent pack, quite a big pack, and hopefully we can run about a bit and get some tries in the second half.
Now, everyone knows that the Italians did invent the pre-game meal. Everyone carved up.
Everyone did know
Everyone has pasta. So it's exciting stuff. We've got the Italians. Complacency is something that the England team have talked about a lot because we are undefeated.
Sorry. You need a Strepsil, mate.
Undefeated. We're undefeated, but how do we avoid complacency? Because, it's no disrespect to them, it's the Italians.
Yeah, I think complacency, you overcome it through preparation. You prioritise the week's training as the big thing in the week. And if you get that done and you get that wax nice and good, then you know that your performance is going to be good.
Now, you're not playing today because you've got some tendon issues. I think you've got a bolt in your leg as well, haven't you?
Got a nice little screw in my leg, yeah.
Oh, how does it feel watching from the sidelines, knowing that, because that video that we watched of you getting stuck in, how did that feel watching that?
Yeah, it's always nice watching a highlight reel. It's mainly line-outs for me, but apart from that, it's playing at home against any team is a massive honour, and it's going to be hard watching today.
I bet it is. We've got questions from the O2 Blue Room faithful. There you go. All right, now here's one from Thomas, who's 8 years old, and he is here. Where's Thomas? He's around somewhere. He's probably getting a soft drink from the bar. Yeah, he's over there. He says, it was my birthday last weekend, and being here today is my present. What's the best birthday present you've ever had, George?
I think for my 21st, my dad baked me a jam cake, and that was it. So I know what my worst is, but my best.
Can you say your worst live?
Being here with you. See, it was my birthday last week, so being here with you, is my present.
Well, actually, my birthday present is I'm just going to come and spend a day with you.
No, please don't. Please don't.
I'll just watch and observe you work those amazing
through the window.
guns. Yeah, maybe through the window and a security cordon.
Yeah.
With your solicitor watching.
Yeah.
We've got another one, Jeff from Bristol here today in the O2 Blue Room. Where's Jeff from Bristol? He's got a very high-pitched voice, Jeff, hasn't he? How old were you when you started playing rugby, and at which club?
So I was about 11, I think. My brother played at Dorking, so I followed him down. Anyone from Dorking in here? Way!
Yeah, a couple of people.
That was a false crowd, but so I started playing at Dorking, played there till I was about 18 and then moved to Sarries.
Okay, next question from Greg in Leicester. Greg from Leicester's here. Where's Greg? Let's see Greg's face. That's not actually Greg from Leicester. That's just a random man in a body warmer from Leicester, which is nice. Who, bizarrely, for a man from Leicester, is holding an empty pint glass.
That's weird. Get
How
yourself to the bar.
bizarre. Wow. Here's a good question. Dan Carter or Johnny Wilkinson?
Johnny. Yeah, for
No
sure.
hesitation.
For sure.
No hesitation.
It's part of the coaching setup, so he's got to be Johnny, isn't it?
He is, and the thing with Johnny is he lives and breathes rugby.
No, he's an unbelievable professional, and he's taken it through to coaching days as well.
Oh, and as a member of the current England squad, do you use people like Johnny and other various past team members who've been victorious? Do you use them as a soundboard for advice or anything?
Yeah, Eddie gets them in. I think Johnny will do a lot of kicking with obviously the kickers, so I don't tend to come too close to him. But no, I do have a good left foot nudge.
Yeah.
But apart from that, he'll bring in different people, ex-players, managers from other clubs and different sports, and you kind of pick their brains a little bit. So he's keeping us on our toes.
Very good. And what just give us an insight. What kind of things do you ask former players, guys that have been there before? Or is it do you let them talk and get a sense of what it's all about?
Yeah, I think if they've done great things, then you can kind of quiz them on how they've done them and kind of the mentality. A lot of it is to do with the mentality and trying to learn from their experience, because obviously they've left the field now, so you can pick their brains and try and pick up some of their experience. Okay.
Now today, around Twickenham, it's quite windy. It's quite gusty. Obviously, we're at the back end of Storm Doris. Yeah. Will the wind affect the kickers today? Because kicking, obviously, pivotal in the international games that we've seen so far.
I think because Twickenham's so steep, I don't think the wind will be too bad. But if anyone knows a good fencer, because Hurricane Doris took down my fence, so I'd gladly use them, to be honest. But I don't think that.
I will come and mend your fence, George.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'll help you do that. 9-foot fences, I'm good at them. Absolutely.
Steel.
Yeah, of course. So the conditions today look pretty solid out there in the stadium when we were there earlier on.
Yeah, for sure. I think it looks like could be a good game. Probably ideal conditions to play. Like I said, the wind doesn't look too big today. It's not raining at the moment. It's not too hot, not too cold. So you should see the ball being flown about a bit.
Now, one last thing. There was a game of rugby yesterday that a lot of people were watching. Scotland took on the Welsh.
Yeah.
The result was very interesting. Will the England players have watched it?
Yeah, they would have. Yeah, I imagine so. Day before a game, you got your feet up a lot of the time, so yeah, they probably would have had a little peek at it.
All right, well, we'll find out what will happen because our next home game is England versus Scotland. But for now, let's concentrate on the Italians. We're going to leave you we're going to leave the Auto Blue Room, and the next time you will see us broadcast live on this Facebook page will be when the England team arrives. So stay tuned, hang around the England Facebook page. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, live via O2's Inside Line from the O2 Blue Room, give it up for Mr. George Kruis.